with a really, really rough start as well. So, you know, talking to Dan and James who were doing that game, they were like kind of like mind blown by how well, especially, you know, the newcomer Snatchy was playing in that game. So I'm really excited to see how they can pull off, you know, what they can pull off versus MiBR, who we saw played pretty damn well versus Space Soldiers.
Yes, Fern Coldzera in that game were looking great. And speaking of, he's already taken a bullet to the face. He's down and out. Was that burst fire long range?
That's the most optimistic thing I've ever seen.
If that had worked, I don't even know what would have happened to the world of Counter-Strike. Stewie's going to be taking down Morels, but Mihu again at it, taking down Stewie. And out in the open, Fallen just fighting. They're shooting at him from every single angle. And he is going to go down. Pasha sneaking his way through middle to get a double kill. And look at the chaos that's happening. Coldzera, I don't know how he still lives. He's going to get one more headshot. There should be no way back. It's a 1-on-4 for Coldzera. Now a 1-on-2. He's already taken down 2 of them while being basically shot at from every angle. And now he's managed to creep his way onto the E-box. He's trying to find a way to see if he could get anybody here, but they're not showing themselves right now. They're both hiding out in Squeak, and it's a really good idea for them. I mean, how is he going to make it through this door and try and actually find any kills? And yeah, he knows by now he could try as much as he likes to make this work, but they're never going to show themselves. He's got the kit, but eventually, yeah, that peak shows no one's defusing, and he's in a lot of trouble. Great round from VP. Neo taking the last kill.
Brilliantly done from VP there. I was a little bit scary. We saw this, you know, on day 1 where they were playing, when they were playing on Inferno. The fact that they seemed to rush themselves a little bit when they had the man advantages and their pistol around there. I was kind of scared for that as well. You see Snatchy jumping at Coldzera with a knife. Pasha just immediately, you know, continuously going for those challenges and whatnot. That's where you feel like you're giving a player like Coldzera a little bit too much wiggle room. Yeah. But yeah, they managed to stall it out in a good manner, and that's exactly what we need to see out of Virtus.pro. Obviously, T side on Cash. I'd say very volatile map, but like oftentimes where you see teams go on a streak, it would be the T side.
It can definitely happen, and I mean, there are some teams that have had a really hard time coming up with good answers for that CT side. Like, there are so many options that you can run for, but people, I don't know, they seem to run out of ideas a little bit quicker than maybe they should. This is a decent enough, you know, 2 men stacked on the A-bomb side. It could have worked out, but they got shut down without even a chance to reply. A good start here for the Polish side. I love to see it. I really had almost no expectations from VP going into this. I feel like, again, the reset of players on this team means I don't really know what to think, but yeah, if we can see them already put up a bit of a fight, I'm sure that would sort of reinvigorate the team a little bit, give some of that energy back. They win the second round, no problem, just losing Pasha.
Yeah, and I think, you know, obviously they got a bit of an unfortunate start to the tournament as well, because everyone who wanted to see the new look VP go into action, they play versus Astralis, probably the team that has the least slip-ups out of anyone at this point. So that's going to be a rough game to go into regardless of who you are at this point. But luckily we've seen them kind of shrug that off, being able to show you know, very competitive games as well, even beating Cloud9 as well. So, I mean, if they could sneak away with a win here, obviously that's going to not only have massive implications for them, but that puts MiBR's chances, you know, of getting through or at risk as well.
It really does. That would really throw everyone for a loop here.
Really cool loop, though. You'd like to see it.
This is part of the excitement of this particular format as well, is that you really do have to sort of look at the rest of the results in the field before you can decide who's going to be going through. Good run down, and this one, Pasha with the triple kill. They've got so much money to work with here on the Virtus.pro side, leading into round number 4. Finally, MiBR able to pick up rifles, and I'll see how that plays out for them. Obviously, it's going to be M4s. It's going to be some grenades, but not all the Molotovs that you would necessarily want. And I don't know if Fallen's going to invest into that. Yeah, he will. AWP and no head armor.
Yeah, just complete glass cannon from Fallen.
No head armor on 3 people against 2 Mac 10s and the UMP.
That could get scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Fur and Cold, only players to really have head armor on their side. They can feel confident enough. Fallen has to be really careful, actually. Again, just miss one off shot there, and you get messed around with, and that's one of the head kevs gone immediately.
It's an incredible return from Stewie, though, jumping on top of the cinder blocks to be able to pick up that kill. And somehow, Pasha has made his way in through middle. This is so hard to do. I think Fallen has an idea that something's up. I don't know if he actually saw him or not, but
it's so aggressive. Like, it's not a lot of the round has actually gone by. Obviously, you saw the initial aggression coming in from Mihu, but that's to be expected. This kind of a push from Pasha, it's like he's just held shift and W the entire time, just never stopped, really, to get into this kind of position. But yeah, as you said, Fallen.
He must have seen it. Otherwise, I think he would have given up on the idea by now. But he's checking every angle Doesn't want to scope or unscope now because it'll be hurt, so he's just going to keep it scoped on the single scope. Walking into the middle, he's so careful. That's really, really well played from Fallen. Tarek going to pick up 1 kill there on Snatchy. The Molotov going to put a lot of pressure on them inside of Checkered, and eventually they're going to make their way out, but Neo is still alone at a 1-on-3 with 5 health in 40 seconds, and I think he kind of knows this is not looking good at the moment. Oh, got to be very careful. Oh, it's a shot from Fallen, but that Molotov could have almost spread to him. We've seen enough of that already this week. Fallen taking that kill at the end. I feel like he stayed with the idea that Pasha was in there for a very long time, and if he gave up on it and sort of like said, oh, maybe he went back and I just didn't see it or something.
Surely he's not there.
Yeah. That could have been lethal to the team, so 3-1.
I think that might have could have been the end, because that gives Pasha obviously control over any sort of rotation coming in towards the E bomb site. They've already removed 1 player on A and Fur to try to get aggressive into A main, and there was no commitment from Virtus.pro before that either in terms of just dropping through vents. So they could have easily swung up highway there and basically put the sole defender on MiBRs on that A site and a massive amount of pain. But luckily for them, though, did manage to have such solid anti-ecos. It's not a problem of actually buying up here, even though we didn't see a bomb plan coming in from Neo there when he was alone.
They're doing just fine still. Tiny bit of engagement over by the B bomb side, but mostly grenades being exchanged. And Morel's over by the Squeak door. I mean, they've got like a full lineup all throughout the map right now on both sides. Just, you know, thinly spread. We'll see if Virtus.pro can find a way to edge in a kill. That always makes such a big difference when you're playing that T side. Definitely. Puts pressure on the CT defense.
Absolutely does. And I'm going to be really excited to follow Snatchy as well, see how he actually gets on with it. Because when he was playing for HGO, he was such a vital part in terms of finding openings for his side, and did so with remarkable consistency, actually, in that team. If he's going to get the same kind of a role for Virtus.pro, or if they're going to rely on other players to actually open things up for them. Because when he gets going with that op, he's lethal. He can go up, you know, against the best of them at times. Right now, only, well, 2.5 players from MiBR over towards that B bomb site.
God, that Molotov, there's only 30 seconds and they put it down. That's incredible timing for MiBR. You don't normally see that. It's very hard to hold a Molotov until there's 30 seconds left. They flash their way through. Tarek gonna pick up 1 kill. He keeps spraying. Gets a double. Now the pistol's out as well, and they're finally gonna run him down. Mihu to pick up that one. Now it's a 2-on-2 with Stewie and Fur on the outside. That Molotov forcing the re-peek, and it's gonna be Snatchy to take the kill on Stewie. I think they thought maybe they'd force someone out. The grenade on top. The fire will do it, and Fur gonna win that clutch. Oh my God. The first Molotov forced them back away from the default plant. The second one won the round. That's so well done.
That is, yeah, great utility usage. It starts so early as well, like you mentioned. 30 seconds left in the round.
Look at hoarding grenades or whatever. Like, he doesn't actually get anything, but he's just looking for a little bit extra.
Yeah, he got an op at least to his name. That's something. But yeah, you said it. You know, 30 seconds left. Already you have a Molotov coming in from MiBR at that point. That's going to buy you so much time. That really sets them up nicely. And then you have the great pop flash coming through the smoke as Tarek runs in, finds 2 frags, manages to stay alive for so long. This becomes very chaotic for VP. And that's been kind of a common theme for MiBR in all the games we've seen them play here so far at Blast, is that they can happily get into these scrappy situations where it's a lot of back and forth, but they seem to get the better out of these trades more often than not.
Let's see if they can keep it up. Both teams still buying.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, cool boost inside the middle, expecting the smoke to come out.
It's so underused as well. So many teams just kind of give it up and are happy with just staying put at that point. Oh, they even have, Cold Zero.
Yeah, he was counter boosted through the vent in from Checkered, so.
That's so smart, actually. You put a chokehold on mid without actually applying too much pressure. You're still very flexible in terms of how you can rotate on the side of MiBR. Makes life of VP extremely tough.
Mihu really wanted to win that fight. If he had, it would have made a big difference here. They're playing 4-on-5 and they're edging towards the A bomb side, but there's a big presence here from MiBR. It won't be easy to break it at all. A little bit of aggression. Fur taking a big risk, and he's going to get shut down. Morels to open it up, and now Stewie also being shut down from main. I'm surprised he got that kill on Snatchy. Bomb is down, 3-on-3. There's 1 Molotov there on Cold Zero. It's going to be used by the forklift, forcing him out. Again, great use of utility here on the MiBR side. They won the last round with it. This time, they force it into a 2-on-3. Now, Neo and Morels, both on the bomb site waiting, and they don't have all the time in the world here. Another one being picked up, I think, and that's going to be another chance for a kill. 2 Molotovs, 2 kills. They're just using this utility way too well right now, MiBR. All on Morels in the back here. Bomb being tapped, but he's going to go down to Fallen. That's a great retake here for the CT side. That's really impressive.
It's brilliant. At first, you have the initial setup, which is so well done. It gives Colsera an opening frag for MiBR, and then, as you said, the follow-up on utility, both Fallen and Cold, using that to basically guarantee a kill for themselves in a really tough position. I think it's also, Stewie trades 1-for-1, but he takes out Snatch Keys. That's the op-gun as well, and VP are in a situation where they don't have any ways of actually retrieving it, because I think that's the only way you actually win it out. Hard to know that MiBR has the utility that they have left for a retake, but if you have an op, you can more actively search for that duel, at least initially, before MiBR gets to put down all the Molotovs and actually get close to the bomb site. So it's just textbook play from MiBR's side, and that's really what you need to see. So tough playing that CT side on Cash. It could get so out of hand really, really quickly.
Yeah, and that was... I mean, that was even MiBR getting the early kill. So it was a 4-on-5 and Virtus.pro. So, I mean, they could have very well won that round. I'm definitely impressed that they managed to fight their way back. Let's just see what happens now. I think we have a bit of a reset in the round, just asking for the game to be remade.
Yeah, I think there was a vote to happen. Somebody pressed F1 because you need to have that bound in order to actually vote. And at that point, if you're too late, you end up doing an auto buy, which is not good for your economy in most cases.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah, no, it did seem a bit odd that Mihu would just decide on him, take it on himself to be like, I'm going to buy Galil. You guys just take an eco. I'm sorting this out. If you're simple, sure, maybe, but yeah, you don't see that happening too often. So understandable that Virtus.pro, we're planning to do an eco in that sense, and MiBR obviously understanding the situation. So quick reset.
Yes,
should be good to go.
Mistakes will happen every once in a while.
They're human after all. At least some of them are. I'm pretty sure some of them are robots with how good they can be. Cold, I'm pretty sure it has I don't know, some sort of future tech built into him. I don't know, like laser eyes or something.
It's gonna come. It's gonna happen eventually, isn't it? Like you're gonna get that cyborg dream that we've all been waiting for.
T800
wouldn't have too bad. Like if you could just download whole encyclopedia into your head and you just
See, I would use that to some just useless stuff. I would actually do it to increase my knowledge. I would be like, yeah, how can I just perfectly understand how to become really good at Counter-Strike? That's how I would go about it.
I feel like you already have enough freaky knowledge of professional teams from France in 2003.
Yeah, but I mean, it hasn't done me a lot of favors in terms of actually getting better at the game, sadly.
One day, Van, it's gonna happen. We'll get that knowledge to good use it eventually. Tarek just a little bit forward. He does have Cold behind him, but I mean, still that is a slight risk. Only pistols on the other side. And looks like they're going to try and see if they can rush 3 men out of the squeak door. Good job on Stewie. That's even the bomb, so not even going to get pressured from that angle. Jumping through. Beautiful headshot. Snatchy. Oh my god, he follows it up and taking down Stewie. That's really hard to do with just a pistol.
Could they actually get the bomb plant here?
Yeah, I think they can. Right on the edge. He actually stops to go for it. He maybe could have had it, but I don't blame him for trying to do more damage.
I really like that from Neo, actually. I think he gets a little bit rushed with how quickly he shoots. With the deagle there, slows down maybe tiniest smidge. They would be able to actually downfall, and at that point, I think that secures a bomb plant for him. But
yeah, and as you can tell, we've gone all the way into the full buy zone here with both of the teams. Obviously, MiBR a little bit deeper into it, got a lot more utility on that side, and then the double AWP. So that's where you
that's where you get the moolah.
Yeah, you've got all the luxury items.
Yeah, it's unfair though, because CT weapons do cost more than Cs. They don't really stand a chance in that battle.
Yeah, it's very true indeed.
I see a bit of a different approach from MiBR this time around. We've seen that also, in every MiBR game we've casted so far, that they've been very fluent with how they've actually gone about their CT setups. This hasn't been a static kind of thing where they always go for one of two different setups. It's been seemingly on the fly in terms of how they want to approach it. If it's spawn-based, which is not something we've seen a lot of teams actually utilize. I think Astralis is actually one of the teams that do it more often than others.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to see because it makes it so hard for VP to actually get a read on what's going on in the game.
Good counter grenade coming out. Land right on the face of Mihu. Molotov going to force him all the way in, and because he was low already, even though his aim was a little bit off there, Tarek, he still managed to win it. Snatchy trying to see if he could get the shot through the wall, but not really connecting this time. And we're down to under 50 seconds now. Virtus.pro need to make sure they don't miss this up in any way.
Fallen is in a very forward position though here. If he goes down, that is the A bomb site pretty much in the hands of Virtus.pro, and there you have it. Snatchy,
wow,
quick on the trigger.
Did Morels behind him hear the zoom? Did Fallen zoom at some point? Is that how?
That could have been, yeah. Like as he walked past earlier on.
That was really, really a good shot from Snatchy. Fur up on the high ground though. Can he see them over the smoke? He catches just a glimpse, and that's enough. And again, it's the bomb that goes down. Long range shot. Fur gonna win the whole thing. That's now 5 in a row, and they are on fire at the moment. Fur doing a great job. He was in the last game as well. Him and Cold Zero playing an amazing game.
Yeah, pretty much co-MVPs of that one.
Yeah.
Seems like Fur wants to get that mantle for his own. It's very solidly done. And VP on their side, I guess a little bit of insecurity in terms of figuring out what's going on the side of MiBR. But when they get that frag onto Fallen, obviously that leads to pretty big passageway towards that A bomb site. I think it's only Fur initially who was there, but by the time Virtus.pro actually commits to the bomb site, you have 2 more MiBR players rotating in, and that's aggressive.
They don't even make it through. Like I think was he at the edge of the smoke, or did he just shoot through it?
Peering in like at the very edge and firing off a shot. It's kind of like the timing that you expect. Like at this point, I would normally meet a player. It's when you do the same thing in mid as well. Gets the connect and gets out of dodge as well, taking 0 damage. It's so big. And again, Virtus.pro have to play out the majority of the round 1 man down. That's rough.
That's not the best way to get started, is it?
Money on this side of VP isn't too spectacular either, is it? We see 1 Molotov.
They have 1 grenade.
It's going to have to be a magical one, but I like the approach here now. Instead of splitting up and trying to see if you could just find a pick randomly, just at least utilize that 1 Molotov you have for something good and group up as much as possible to see if you can find an opening. And right now, MiBR still pretty heavily committed actually towards B with 2 players pretty far into the bomb site. And 1 player tucked away behind sandbags in mid there. Has been a rotation. Fallen's made his way in towards the A-bomb site. It's going to be tough to get him out of position here. They might do something about Stewie, but... Oh, that's brutal.
Grenade can land right on top of 2 people. That's a huge grenade. Fallen taking a kill as well. Whatever plan there was, I mean, they just didn't make it work. 6 in a row now for MiBR. They seem...
I will give them the excuse, though, that doing everything they're going to execute with 1 Molotov, that is optimistic at best. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have too many choices, but yeah, no, as you said, that's a pretty tall order to have come through. Here you go, yeah.
That's a nice kill.
So quick to get out of dodge as well.
You can tell, I mean, usually in these kind of executes, right, you'd have flashbangs in your eyes or smokes in front of you of your Stewie, right? There'll be something going on there. Yeah, he just had clean vision. No problems.
So much time to think things through.
So...
does mean that VP have to go back on an eco. Haven't been able to get the bomb plant down in the last couple of rounds. They are building a loss bonus, though, as we see MiBR being on fire, but there are still chances for VP to bring this back. Here we go. Here are the smokes we were talking about.
Yeah, even on top of the red container, they're smoking absolutely everything. Normally, you don't actually see that. You just see the sort of, you know, between container and fork. Stewie's still picking up the kills here. The CC's not really making it work. Mihu gonna get the 1 in there, but it just is not enough here. It's a good shot from Pasha. Still at 1-on-3, and he is gonna get shut down.
Wow. It's actually really quick to have these like aggressive rotations. We saw it on Mirage as well when he was playing B-apps. The fact that he's very quick to either position himself very aggressively from the get-go, or actually push around the second he feels or gets the information that there might be something lurking, because they do it a lot of the times without necessarily having full confirmation as to what the opponent is doing. But it's been working out really well, and Tarek's been in a prime position, even though a lot of the time the rest of the defenders on MiBR's side have done a good job of shutting down any push. He's always in like the right spot at the right time if things were to go astray, really, for the initial defenders.
Right now, this is looking like an MiBR team that could definitely make the grand finals. They are they're looking incredibly hot right now. 7 rounds in a row.
7 rounds in a row. Everybody's fragging right now. Stewie leading the charge with 10, but outside of that, you've got Tarek and 8, and the Brazilian trio all on 7 frags.
Yeah, which is just fine.
Absolutely is, and as you said, raking in rounds, 7 in a row here.
How quick is this execute going to be?
Not as quick as the aggressive move coming in from MiBR here. We talked about it, aggressive, pushes and rotations. This is not a rotation at all. This is kind of like a set CT execute from MiBR.
Don't get to see this very often. This could be a slam dunk out of them. I mean, by the time Virtus.pro know what's happening, unless they turn around at just a magical time, they're going to be so confused. They're actually crunching the A bombs, but they're running back with not even their weapons out. And Fur, he should have got that double kill every single time. That is a bit of a mess up. Snatchy going to be taking down Tarek. They had it all lined up, and now Mihu going to be dropping one, looking for the second headshot. How on earth did the Polish team turn this around? This is more or less unforgivable. Right now, somewhere, Lurpus is getting ready to kill somebody. This is
if you had like an active, win percentage probability of winning a round thing, like a slider going up on the screen, that would have been at 99% for MiBR there, until Fur fails to get the double kill pretty much. And especially, again, great, great salvaging, I guess, from Virtus.pro's side. Snatchy being able to find Tarek as well as the secondary aggressive player. Because I guess at times you can assume that a player like Fur is going to be out and about. He will make those kind of pushes. The fact that he has someone with him isn't necessarily a given. So the fact that they actually are able to do that, it's well, much needed for Virtus.pro. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely.
This is the first spy round they've gotten since, well, first round they've gotten since the Pistols. And
you know what they say when it's too good to be true? Like, it's like there's something's bound to be messed up. This is it's just all very unfortunate. I feel like the whole sequence of events afterwards is like that's when it's already spiraled out of control.
Oh yeah.
But that first engagement, well, we'll let it slide. But they did win 7 in a row. So we can't really complain too much. But
yeah. Could have been 8 though.
It could have definitely been 8.
Money's not an issue, at least on the MiBR side. So, off out on Fallen, plenty of utility. Stack up, and is Tarek continuously going aggressive here? Oh, nice shot from Mihu there, and Tarek needs to back out. Doesn't make it through the smoke, and he's going to get pinned in the back. And yet again, VP. Oh, they're dealing with the aggression one way or another. That's a pretty big get right now. Now they need to not run into a stack, because I feel like that's the only viable option that MiBR has at this point. They kind of have to put all the eggs in one basket. Seems like that basket is going to be the B bomb site. I have Cold Syrup posted up here. The back of Checkers, Fallen, kind of the only one really searching for any sort of information.
Yeah, folktales will tell you not to do that, but sometimes in Counter-Strike it just makes a lot of sense,
Yeah. I mean, Counter-Strike is not always a game of logic in that sense. There we go. Fallen equalizing, or putting at least one member of Virtus.pro into the grave. But again, Virtus.pro haven't really done a whole lot to actually get map control with the main advantage they've had. So Fallen's able to reposition here.
They threw that smoke from halfway across the map as well, and then the Molotov towards Forklift. So they're trying to sell the idea, Morels is here, that something's happening, but they're not really biting him, and they're still sticking in the B bomb side. This could be an absolutely ridiculous disaster for Virtus.pro. 25 seconds, Fallen taking down Morels. He knows nobody else is coming. He hasn't hurt anybody yet, and hiding in the back of Stewie. This could be a disaster right now for the Polish side. Cold Zero in checkered, spraying down one, goes for a second. Stewie's there as well, 14 seconds. They need to win this round, and they just can't. Virtus.pro 5-on-3, and they decide to fake the A bomb side and run back to B. That's very risky, I would say.
And the one thing I don't understand about that fake that they throw out from the side of Virtus.pro is the fact that if you want to sell a fake, you have to make some noise. A single smoke and a Molotov, that can still be put up by one player.
Yeah.
That's not going to force a rotation. MiBR are so set in their ways at that point that if Fallen dies, the 2 remaining players saves. That has to be a thought that pops into the head of Virtus.pro as well. They have to be aware of that possibility. So they need to fully commit to the point where there's a reason for MiBR to make a drastic move. That's not it by sneaking up on the bomb site. Stewie gets flashed in, actually loses out the duel.
He had every chance to get that one, so tiny bit of a mess up here. Virtus.pro will take it. Right now, they definitely need it. That's a very... I mean, by the way, that last round, if Virtus.pro had won that 5 versus 3, MiBR would have been out of money almost entirely, so...
They still might be, though.
They still might be?
Yeah, if they lose this one. That's how close this game actually is, like how on a knife's edge it is. It's pretty remarkable. But look at Tarek, like... Tarek's just loving life right now.
He's so confused. Oh no, he runs back and he's gonna get caught. It can't be happening. They've been in this.
Can't be.
You could see the pure frustration. He's like, please just take one more step.
Oh, that is unreal. That's the second time around, the aggression not panning out for Tarek.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily his fault either.
No,
it's just
no.
an unfortunate circumstance. Ooh, the arm of Cold Zero is going to get spotted out by Mihu. Quickly traded, though, by Fur. And here comes Fallen.
This game is all over the place right now. For close range, he's going to hear the bomb going down. He wants to just go a little bit aggressive. And Morels will take him down. And Fallen now, if they peek him, they're going to give him a chance at a one-on-one. He's lightning fast with this rifle. You really don't want to give him any shots at all. And there it is instantly. You'd have to replay that in slow motion to see how fast it is. Now running up. Grenade going to land more or less on Morels, though. A little bit of a miss there. He's getting a chance jumping up at the high ground. He misses the chance. Pistol's out instead. Going to pick up the M4 and goes for the second round of the fight. And he's going to win it out. Instant headshot. Has the kit as well. And he's going to have just enough time for it here. A 9th round on the board for MiBR. 1 versus 2 for Fallen and triple kill overall. He's actually leading on the MiBR side now. How is it that MiBR so far ahead, yet Mihu's the one top fragging at 15 kills? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Mihu's been finding frags left and right. Been pretty much the catalyst of a lot of the starts, good starts that we've seen out of Virtus.pro. Even when they haven't been able to make that into rounds and whatnot. We saw the double kill he had to set them into a 5v3 that they eventually lost. Same thing here. Opens up the round. They eventually lose it again. I guess this is partly inexperience coming into play. You know, when you see Snatchy actually taking that duel, it's like you're telegraphing it for them pretty much, saying like, if they peek, they're giving him a chance.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're not giving him a chance. The math is really that simple around it, but it's such a hard decision to make, you know, when you're in the heat of the moment. And again,
oh god, this
time
time
are so aggressive right now.
They really are. I mean, Virtus.pro are going to be incredibly confused. I'm slightly confused, and I have access to the minimap after all. Stewie gonna clean up a couple of players on that bomb site. Mihu again finding his 16th kill. Pasha, actually, that's not a bad job at all. So now it's Mihu versus 3 with a deagle and a bomb plant. This is a bit of, oh, and he's going to get shot. He doesn't even get a chance.
First been everywhere.
Yeah, he just wrecked it. This is like the classic version of Fur that we love to see, isn't it?
He started out going aggressive into A main. That didn't work. So then he starts going aggressive towards B. That kind of worked, I suppose, because he was able to get 1 out of 2.
Yeah.
Probably should have had 2. And I was like, well, there's certainly one place left to go. That's mid. That works out pretty nicely for him.
Does that mean it's going to be squeaked this time?
I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. Either that or an aggressive boost over mid this time. Like something new, but he really has been on a bit of an adventure around Cash.
10-4. It's a great start for MiBR. They're going to be super excited.
But it's crazy how Fur is so good at finding these openings as well, right? Normally, somebody would be looking mid. Normally, somebody would be holding off B. But he somehow just makes his way through.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why for like a full year, everyone was saying we really don't like playing against Fur because it's just so hard.
Obnoxious.
Yeah, you just don't expect it. Like, you know it's coming, but still
you
somehow,
really don't.
Yeah.
It's like the polar opposite of Get Right. You know he's coming behind you at some point, you just don't know when, and you can't spend the entire round looking the wrong direction. So what do you do?
What was that line from the major? As we expected, they surprised us? Is that
yeah.
It's something like that.
That's a solid one.
Well, round number 15. Last of the half here before they swap and play on the opposite sides. Cold Zero going to be Molotov'd out of the vents. Oh, actually, it doesn't go deep enough. That could be a real problem, because they might be thinking now, okay, vents are clear, don't worry, we burned it all out. Nobody's in there. They're going to be flashed the way through, and you could tell they weren't ready. He's going to get the kill. They trade one of them back from Snatchy there, but they've lost Morels as well.
Yeah, Fallen combining well with Cold Zero. Once again, through that, from that connector position in vents. Snatchy does spot out Fallen. Not able to get the kill, though.
That was Pasha. He was waiting for the upper peak from Fur for a long time, and he got the reward, so now a lot of trouble. He's completely surrounded. Tarek, again, kind of a similar position. He keeps finding himself in a spot where he has to cover 2 angles.
If it's a game of 50-50, like, Tarek seems to be losing out every single time. It's more like 99-1 for him.
Oh, the wall bang attempt.
Pasha might be able to find Stewie here as well. So for once, it seems like the margins are going to favor Virtus.pro.
Yeah, he's got this kill every single time. Stewie goes down, but it's round number 15. Fallen has to fight for it. He won the 1 versus 2 last time. This time it's going to be nearly impossible. He goes down 10-5 in favor of MiBR in the first half. Now second half going to be coming up, and I don't know. I feel like the Polish side, they definitely need the pistol, and they need more than that even. Like, it's going to get a little bit tricky, I think.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels that way. And it's a bit of a shame because it's been a very dynamic first half. We've seen so much different stuff coming out of MiBR, which is really cool. But we've also seen Virtus.pro being in advantageous situations quite a bit of the time and just not being able to make the most out of it. Like, they definitely should have had scenarios where they could have grabbed quite a few rounds in a row because of the shaky economy on the side of MiBR.
Yeah.
I mean, that 5v3 especially, I think that's going to be what comes back to haunt them in the biggest way. As you mentioned, like, if MiBR didn't bring that back, they would have been completely broke. That's most likely, you know, an easy 2-for-1 for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, and then they could be up to like 7 rounds instead of 5 probably. So like 7-8 instead of 10-5 is a really big difference.
Yeah, and also the fact that then you put MiBR into a situation where they have to win consecutive rounds, otherwise they're going to have to go back to eco for every round they lose.
Are we going to see a good old B rush? Snatchy, you are about to be in trouble. Fur crouching in, Neo now all on his shoulders. He's going to stand his ground and fight. Why not? Gets a headshot, more coming. One more in. Oh my god, he finishes the first one as well. Unbelievable play from Neo, taking down Tarek. He just decided, I am not going to run. And somehow that works out. Fur going to peek back into 2 people. He could have gone down already, but he's still fighting. He's picked up that P2000, and can he finish a headshot? He's not really having much luck with it now, and reloading in the corner. He's giving them a chance a little bit here, and Fur goes down all on Stewie. Up on the high ground. Can he make it happen? Getting 1 big kill, falling back around the corner. He's really toying with them right now, and he's not going to work out. Mio will get the 1, and I can't believe it. Neo's an absolute hero in that round.
How does he make that happen? Because you can see, like, he was struggling to find position initially with the first 2 peeks he does, and gets the 4th man in the line on his first connection. Probably not the intended target, but you'll take it. And like, at that point, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, Neo's done everything he can. There's no way he can back off the site. He's committed to this position and is going to get run down. Yeah. And somehow finds 2 more frags, especially that 3rd one is absolutely insanity. It seems like he actually dies before.
It really does.
Sent off the bullet, goes down, and then
that was like, those things happen at like a 10th of a frame, you know, separation. It's just like kind of incredible.
But it was so necessary as well for Virtus.pro to have a chance in that.
The only thing better would have been if he'd, like, you know, pulled a pin from a grenade and stepped on it, so that when he died, you know, they would have like run over him.
Oh yeah, last man standing.
Well, Mihu aggressive, taking down Cold Sierra. That was a nice stand your ground moment there for Neo. I'd like to see that. They've got that single AK-47 picked up on the MiBR side. There's no armor though.
I'm curious if that actually went on Cold initially, because he's sitting at $1,000. So I'm assuming Cold had armor. Got taken up by immediately. Yeah.
Fur bought the AK. That makes a lot of sense. I agree.
It remains to be seen if they can actually do something with it still. Stewie might be in for a bit of a rough surprise here. There we go. Taken in the back. Fur, though, has been given passage into mid. Though the positioning for VP here doesn't really allow for Fur to actually find any sort of openings. The only person nearby is Pasha, and he's going to be chased away by Tarek. Almost, you could have probably wished for, you know, Tarek to let him go by, just give the information to Fur. He can lock in on anyone in mid.
Fur needs an instant headshot, and it's going to be the reverse instead. Again, Mihu, I think, if they want back in this game, it might be him that they have to call for right now. His first bullet accuracy is way off the charts, and he's actually playing an incredible game. So 10-7, Mihu on 19 kills here in just 17 rounds. That's pretty good.
He's doing hard work, that's for sure. And I'm curious to see what kind of style we're going to see out of this VP lineup on the CT side. Obviously, you see the extreme aggression here early on versus the anti-ecos. If that's going to be something that's a trend for their buy rounds as well, really cool to see. We saw MiBR obviously being relentless with that. Tarek and Fur pretty much spending more of their time on the opposite side of the map than where CTs normally find themselves. So hoping to see something out of Virtus.pro here. And again, like they did have a bit of a rough start versus NIP as well on the same map. They managed to battle back into it, even though they eventually lost. But yeah, you know, it's a good sign that they do have that kind of staying power within them, even in this lineup, to fight back. And NIP are no slouches. Oh, Stewie connects onto Pasha.
Wasn't even the first bullet, was it? It was just it took just a little while to get that up and running.
Yep.
But
you'll take it though.
And from Virtus.pro's point of view, they've already given enough rounds away that, like, especially that big 5 versus 3.
Yeah.
Don't lose this one, because that could tip you over the edge, right? That could be just a little bit more than you can handle. Mihu in charge in the middle. And the rest seem to be pushing in towards A main at the moment. Just Tarek here, still trying to keep however many people he can. I mean, if you keep them away from the A bomb side, that's obviously better for this main push. Doesn't really seem to be the case. Mihu landing one more headshot. Now close range from Morels. Oh, and that feels good, doesn't it? Like butter through a knife, taking him down, no armor, and it will be another round. 8-10.
Yeah.
Suddenly this game is a lot more interesting.
Definitely is. And they actually managed to hold on to all of the M4s as well.
Just want to point out, Nip and Astralis are tied at 9-9 right now.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. What map are they playing?
I couldn't tell you immediately, but
in any case, that's pretty solid showing from NIP as of right now. We talked about it. We needed to see teams actually being able to put up a fight versus
Cloud9 are up 13-6 against Space Soldiers.
Really?
So
that definitely surprises me.
Yeah, that could do a lot to this group stage. Like that could really mess things up for everybody.
And I mean, again, Virtus.pro, they can do their part in all of this. Make sure that nobody's really secure to go through before we get into round 5 and whatnot, if they were to close this out versus MiBR.
Again, when you get to that stage, stuff like round difference starts to matter, and it gets really, really tricky.
That's the fun of it. And also, you know, that this draw that we saw MiBR have versus NIP, that could prove to be either, you know, very good for them or fatal. You know, you lost that, especially for NIP, seeing how they were in the lead for so long.
Well, let's just see. Pasha has got the right idea. MiBR finally with some rifles here on the T side, which hasn't been... They haven't been enjoying that too much.
No, they really haven't. I'm so scared whenever I see an Opera playing Pasha's position right there. You're just so trapped if you miss the first bullet. Like, where do you go from mid? And, well, I guess someone else is going to have a bit of a hard time. That's going to be Snatchy towards the B-bomb side. He's the only one really nearby. Neo could rotate through vents, but, yeah, if you miss the first shot, where do you go from here?
Yeah, it's a classic setup. Flashed off the angle. When you try and re-peek it, the other Opera's going to be there. Somehow Neo getting a kill, and they've retaken Checker. That's not bad. Mihu getting one of Morels in the middle. Neo taking a double kill, and that leaves Tarek now. The bomb is not even planted. 25 seconds here, and Tarek knows, I mean, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to take down Neo, but he's essentially walking into, or voluntarily walking into a crossfire. How can he make it through? 17 seconds. Tarek, can he make this happen? Putting a little bit of pressure on any second now. He's going to get shot in the back. He wins the fight against Mihu. It shouldn't even be this close. Somehow he's done it. The Molotov is going to force him out, but he got the bomb plant down, and he's standing on the... Oh my god, he gets the headshot. Unbelievable. 1 versus 3. Tarek in front of the Turkish crowd making it happen. That was an almost impossible 1 versus 3.
Well, it should have been impossible. It really should have. Neo obviously is in a bit of a rut in terms of, like, you know, Tarek knows about his position, already seen the gun tip from the silenced M4 peeking around the corner, and he's also on low HP after finding two frags. But after that, you have, like, an ideal setup for both Morels and his teammate in that 1v2. Like, I think the biggest issue right there is that Morels gets a little bit too passive for his own liking, or for his own good. He actually goes all the way out of the vents instead of staying in the vents just at a closed-off angle where he cannot get picked up by Tarek. So he's not really able to actually pounce on it when Tarek has to commit to the bomb site with the time left. But Tarek, man.
Quick execute this time. Stewie leading the charge with a MAC-10 taking down Pasha, and they're going to run them over this time. That's such a massive victory for Tarek. I can't believe he won that. That's really rare. There's a 1 in the 100 or 1 in 1,000 to win that kind of a setup. He had no time, and this is the other thing, right? If he had a minute and it was a 1 versus 3 and he could like fake them out, it'd be a different thing.
Oh yeah.
But he had like 20 seconds to do that, and he was
one place to go.
Yeah, and he was standing on top of the fire to get that headshot. Unbelievable. Bomb is down, and they're just chasing for the kills here. Neo had no way out. And Snatchy going to be on his own with the AWP. Pretty important to save it. It's a good flick to take down Stewie, as we expect by now. But this is going to be 12-8 in favor of MiBR. And that's a 3 versus 5 loss, a 1 versus 3 for Virtus.pro.
In reset rounds. In potential reset rounds.
Yes. So if you want to beat a team like MiBR or maybe Astralis at some point, you can't let those rounds happen.
Don't do it.
There's just no room for it, is there?
Yeah. And then it's like, to me, this is the kind of sad trajectory that the game is turning into. It's becoming a what-if game for Virtus.pro. And normally, I guess you could have expected it, but they've put themselves in such good positions that you would have, like, you're hoping, you're clenching on hope that they're going to be able to turn it around. Because at that point, it could have been them up 12-8 at this point.
Yes, that's definitely true. At least they are getting to those positions now, whereas, you know,
that's a start.
A couple of weeks ago, that wasn't even the case. So we're still enjoying the improvement, but now that they're here, you wish, come on, just...
Yeah, It seems like the roller coaster ride is going to continue for a little bit longer, but at least we're having fun.
It's fair play to them, you know, if they can just improve those are small, those are things you can improve, right, from tournament to tournament.
Oh, yeah.
You can get rid of some of those mistakes. You can sort of like, you know, make sure that the team listens and just takes a deep breath at the right moment. So remind everyone, listen, he has no time. It's a 1-on-3. Just everyone stand still, and you probably win those rounds.
Yeah, and here we go. Virtus.pro, they've made the right gamble, it seems like. MiBR setting up for a heavy A execute here.
Oh, are they going to...
Oh, so he actually finds Morels through the door.
They smoke again, the top of container. Snatchy's going to be so annoyed. He wanted a clean shot with that AWP. miHu, what? With the USP? Taking down 2. It shouldn't be possible. And now, are they going to commit to it anyway? Snatchy's here with that rifle, but he's caught in the corner. There's so much pressure on him. He still picks up the kill on Stewie. An absolutely outlandish shot, and it's now going to be a 1 versus 2. They know that he's here. They can back off. They got 35 seconds. If they go to the other bomb side, Fallen's actually trapped behind the forklift. Oh no, Snatchy's repositioning. It's a really good, I mean, he actually had to do that.
Yeah.
But he's going to get caught in the middle of it. That was way too close. MiBR win the round, yes, but that could have gone out of control.
How does miHu get there?
Like, I don't even know.
Like, just out of the blue, like a ghost.
Oh wow, Stewie actually took that shot. This is so crazy. Yeah, he just...
It's like no smoke there. There hasn't been a flash. Just like...
I think just Stewie's even confused. Like, how did the USP do that much damage?
You have the third guy in A main showing up a little bit too late. He's like, sorry guys, my bad. Yeah. Nonetheless, MiBR pick up the round. Do take a little bit more of a loss than they would have liked to, but again, we can see Fallen, even though he hasn't purchased up yet, still has an op on the ground, 7.2 in the bank, so they're sitting pretty, but luckily for Virtus.pro, they're going to be able to get a somewhat healthy buy-in. Got an op on Snatchy. We've started to see what he can get going with that weapon in his hands, and you know, decent amount of utility on the other players. Not a lot of Molotovs, so retakes might be a bit of an issue. So we might have to see some aggressive moves coming out from the VP side.
13-8. Slowly, that gap between the two teams is rising a little bit, but let's see if Virtus.pro can find a way to put an end to it here.
Okay, so right now, okay, well, I say while there's a little bit of a lull, but we've got Fur on the server, so he's always going to be pushing forward. Oh, God.
They don't even know.
Yeah, Posh just let someone through.
I mean, it's a matter of, you know, a couple of pixels and they see him, but...
Morels actually has an idea.
Yeah, and they get the kill somehow.
That was, I think Pasha just realized, like, okay, they might have slipped by in this millisecond of a window, and they actually account for it. Oh,
you wish you could go back and listen to the communication on the VP side then, because that's the lost round. If he gets the kill on Forklift, and even if he just stays alive in that position and doesn't do anything else, it does shatter the whole defense more or less, so... That's quite a great adjustment. Morels wants to double up on that and try and see if he could maybe make it even further. I mean, he almost took down Stevie's on 1 health, but it's a 4-on-4.
Yeah, still doable.
Oh, and miHu. This...
Oh, they're not going to expect that. There's no way.
It's very, very unlikely that you would push the same angle once you've already lost a player there. Yeah, or if you would do it at the same time, right? Yeah,
and Posh is going to hear this as well. The aggression coming in from Fallen. That's going to set up Neo perfectly. Neo knows his trap, though. He knows what's up here.
In spite of the flashbang, Cold still able to pick up the kill, but here comes miHu. Stewie right around the corner. He's going to be dead in a sec. Well, it's actually Pasha to take down Cold, so it's even better. And Tarek, he did it before in a 1 versus 3, and he had about the same time. This time, Snatchy will not even give him a chance. He steps a foot onto the B bomb side, and he's dead immediately. 9-13, and 23rd round now. Starting to really warm up into this game. Again, miHu had 26 kills. He is miles ahead of everybody else right now.
Yeah, and the adjustment right here. I'm pretty sure, actually, if... I caught Pasha, you know, on the player cam as we saw him backing off from connector. It was kind of like he was looking towards one of his teammates and saying, like, I've given up mid.
Yeah.
Account for it. And then you could see, you know, through the silhouette that Morels actually shifted his view over towards that highway area and started jumping behind the boxes, and that's really what sets everything up. It's a matter of, like, milliseconds before that goes horribly wrong for VP. But then again, they've had a fair share of tough situations go against them as well. So I guess it all balances out.
It's almost like if you are playing against someone like Fur, and you sort of ask the question, how likely is it that someone has snuck in there? As soon as you ask that question, you say, listen, let's just check, because as soon as we have any doubt, there's a good chance that that's exactly what's happening, you know?
Especially given how he's played on the CT side as well, right? He's just showing up everywhere.
It's like the good old 2013, 2014 standby. If you don't know where Get Right is, just check behind you. It's probably going to be there.
Counter-Strike proverbs.
So, smoke goes up, lands behind them, missed shot, and counter Molotov coming up from Neo, trying to make sure they all funnel through the one direction, and actually, he's going to go down after a single kill, so this is actually a pretty powerful push out of Virtus.pro. Pasha, what is happening? Running right in, there is a leg shot, but still, this is incredibly dangerous. Now a 1-on-2 Morels. The bomber could go down. MiBR, they might have just completely crushed this round. He's jumping down, so they know exactly where he is. They've got an AWP and an M4. And he has to walk into the crossfire. They're not even putting the bomb down. A lot of pressure on him right now, and as a new player, that might be very scary. The Molotov, is it going to force? Well, it doesn't even matter. Fur going to get the kill. That is... They could give up bomb site in that position, right? They don't actually have to fight to stop the bomb from going down. They have the better weapons. They could have just said, okay, fine, you get the bomb site, but we're going to firebomb it from heaven, and you'll never get a chance.
Similar to what we saw, you know, MiBR do. When you first had the Molotov towards the default plant, then over towards the corner when Fur was left alone in the 1v2, right? So many opportunities for VP. It seems like they're rushing it once again. We saw it on Inferno. This time, I can see why Pasha wants to push forward because he has Miku in his back. So you're thinking to yourself, like, well, we've got power in numbers and firepower. But considering the fact that they didn't actually have head armor, you could so easily play that more carefully. They haven't passed Snatchy at that point.
Yeah. So maybe we could add that to a third round where Virtus.pro maybe played it better. Like I mean,
they're starting to stack up right now. And you can see they have fundamentals in place. Oh, that's nice from Neo. Ice cold. So as you can see, like they are making solid decisions from time to time. It's just...
Yeah, that was incredible. The weight in the middle for Neo. I mean, it's the kind of play you do expect out of a veteran like him, but still not easy to do when you're actually in the server. Fallen going to be taking him down. And now Morels, very similar position, coming through the vent, so he has to make noise coming down. They'll hear where he is. And there's it. Oh, he actually might have just caught the timing. Oh, no, he missed the shot. He's going to continue. And now Fallen on the other side. Pretty much one chance to get this Morels. Is he going to expect the off angle? Fallen has snuck into CT spawn. I don't know how you could possibly read this, but this is the next level mind game. He's going to walk right into the shot, and Fallen will take it. That's outrageous. Again, 99% of the time, he's gonna be on the B bomb side. He'll go for the plant and just try and take the fight afterwards, but not Fallen.
It's incredibly well done and such a smart thought from Fallen to have. But again, I'm questioning what Morales is doing in those afterplant positions, or no, in those 1vx situations. At first, we see him not playing an aggressive position where he knows Fallen has to cross over towards the bomb site initially, you know, because he took out Neo. That's the bomb. They know about this. Morels can play more aggressively in vents, get the drop on him without coldzera necessarily being in any position to get a trade. Obviously misses an opportunity to get Fallen crossing over to the bomb site. Does salvage it by finding coldzera. But again, as you mentioned, in 99% of any sort of situations like this, the remaining T is going to plant over towards B. So why does Morels feel the need to push?
God, they're rushing into middle, trying to retake it. The squad might actually be working out here. Somehow it's a 2-on-2. They had almost nothing to work with here, VP, so might as well go for it in the middle. And Snatchy hitting a headshot. Now it's a 1-on-1. Fallen versus Snatchy. And this one is for the map. MiBR, if they win this, they might be in a very good position to land the grand finals. We'll see the point scores later on, but this is a little bit scary for VP. Bomb goes down. Fallen with the AWP. Snatchy on the other side. A single bullet away from death. Oh, he sees it.
This is
he
big.
knows. Yeah, absolutely is. 5-7 going to be walking a bit closer. Fallen has no idea. And Snatchy, this is so scary. He's just on the hunt right now. Fallen looking the wrong way, and timing's going to be working out. Snatchy's going to win it. And VP get a chance to play for a draw here. Again, there's no overtime, but that draw means you don't get the same amount of points. And it makes a huge difference at the end about who gets the go. It really is something you want to avoid if you're MiBR.
Oh yeah, they've already gotten one draw. That's more than enough at this point.
Yeah.
And now they're finding themselves in, I guess, the opposite situation as to the NIP game, where they were the ones having to fight back. Now they actually need to show that they can close it out. But that was a monstrous round from Snatchy. 3 frags in mid. Obviously, MiBR potentially getting a little bit careless, but yeah, just really well done from the VP guys in terms of just overwhelming what MiB players you had there. And also, kind of nice, you know, Fortune turns out in the favor of VP in the sense that Fallen is the one surviving for MiBR having an op. Because at that point, it doesn't really matter what kind of HP is left on the side of Snatchy. 15 HP, 100 HP, he's going to die if Fallen sees him.
Yeah.
But if he misses that one shot, instead of having multiple opportunities to actually, get that one connection in, as you would have had with an AK, Snatchy gets multiple opportunities, and obviously plays that extremely smart as well when he spots out Fallen crossing back over to Checkers.
Yeah, very determined in the plan that he set out there, so you like to see that. 15 to 10. MiBR very limited in the weapons. Gonna challenge the fire, hoping that someone was gonna be. I mean, sometimes people do sort of assume that Molotov is gonna stop anyone from boosting, and they just run into middle.
Oh yeah, it's like that smoke wall where you think like nobody can run through this, right? Like.
Does have it is called a wall, so you could.
I've burnt myself on that so many times. I was like, but there's just smoke there. Like, no way he's gonna go through that.
Playing against Danish people on Face It, is that how it?
Yeah, I just played against JW as well. It's not fun. There you have it. Like, my nightmare's coming back to haunt me. All right, now we'll see if Virtus.pro can become a bit of a nightmare for MiBR. Obviously. Limited investment on their side. Again, like finally we saw Virtus.pro being able to break the economy of MiBR. Maybe a little bit late for them, but it's a start. Now the real thing that they have to avoid is obviously the prowess of the Deagles on the T side, but obviously that scout in the hands of Tarek. He can do so much tag damage, and he's exceptionally good with it as well once he gets his hands on him.
Disappointment for MiBR not finding anyone in the middle. I bet they hoped that they could have snuck in a kill on somebody, but they're just not even given the opportunity. So this is kind of smart for Virtus.pro. You like to see the fact that they are using their grenades. They're not giving any chance here for MiBR to do anything. Now, the smoke is going to go up in front of the squeak door. That's going to hold back 3 people. They might as well go for it because they're going to run out of time if they don't. Auto shotgun gets a single kill there for Pasha. Tarek. No scope, not going to happen, but still, 15 to 11. Virtus.pro edging their way. That draw for MiBR, man, that'd be hard to deal with right now. 31 kills on Mihu in regulation.
Yeah, Neo also having a pretty good game as well. Gotten to 21 to his name. All right, now, I mean, it feels so weird because Virtus.pro shouldn't be in this kind of a situation they find themselves in. They have so many opportunities to actually break the economy of MiBR, get into a bit of a secure position. Just haven't been able to capitalize on it, but there's still hope here. Can still salvage 1 point at least.
So, round number 27. And there is a chance here for the T side to make it work. Catching the boost and Fallen is a great little gift to be given as you're setting up for an A execute. That's going to leave them very thin on this side. The Molotov, though, buying a little bit of time. Tarek, he wins the fight against Morels. This might be all they need. A couple of more kills, and they will finally put Virtus.pro away here on the map. 2-on-2. And Snatchy just getting around the corner, but Stewie there to catch him. He wanted to be there before the bomb went down and try and stop it from happening. Now Neo retaking with a UMP. That jump reveals where he is, and he's going to try and make it through. He somehow gets the kill on Fur, and that's the bomb as well. I can't believe it. Can he make it happen? Stewie crouching in on the other side. UMP and AK is going to come out on top. 16-11, and MiBR end up winning.